Hello, it is I, Ramses the 800th, and we're finally back with Manga Roundup. I might be a little close to the mic. Give me a sec. There we go. Ooh, it's good to be back. We did the Black Clover stream yesterday. We got a lot of stuff, or I guess it's technically today. Whatever. We got it. We're good, and now we're going to be covering not as much as we should be because Kaiju number 8's on break. But we are going to be covering RuriDragon. We're going to be covering 2 chapters of Ichi the Witch, 2 chapters of ChainsawMan, and 2 chapters of Kagurabachi. And if you could see here, we got some of our guys. I don't see ChainsawMan here, though, but we see Chihiro. We see Ichi in the corner right here. And no Ruri, no Kafka. But, we still get pretty good. No Black Clover, but that was because it was yesterday, right? That was yesterday's stuff. I think the next chapters drop in 10 days, I want to say, but whatever. And let's jump right in, honestly. Let's cover RuriDragon, good, calm series. This is a pretty fun, I always say this every time we cover RuriDragon. It's a very fun chapter, right? Barely weighs a thing. That's what this chapter's called. And we're getting Ruri being basically a team player and still having more fun in these games. And we see some of her classmates, Yoshioka, in class 3, basically they call him a muscle monster, but they keep going, right? And he's still doing this competition with his former friend from class, I believe, 2. So this like stretch of the game is weird because they have to do a bunch of these weird, like, what is it called? Obstacles. This is part of the obstacle course, but they have to pull these giant tires. They have to ride these tiny bikes, and it's a lot of them having fun as friends and as kids. They're having kid fun, right? And we get this little thing where it's his friend, Yoshioka's friend, basically saying like, "Oh, why are you so like desperate, right? Don't tell me you actually like the girl with the horns, right?" Basically saying you like Ruri, right? He's saying like, "Oh, you like, she's cute. She's not fully human. That's like a main. That's like not. It's pretty weird, but I guess it doesn't matter to you." And Yoshioka's just like, doesn't matter. You got it all wrong. He's like, she's my friend. I'm not gonna just let her do anything, right? It's more like the last thing I want to do is sell out a friend, and then he gets hurt. And this is my favorite. This is the funny thing. They have to like change the costumes and run, and he gets a wedding dress, and then we see it later. But Ruri's still out here helping, and this is when we kind of start seeing Ruri like activating more of her power because she picks up the rope, and if you see her horns are very different now. They're like more, what is it, asymmetrical? Asymmetrical, I think is the word. But they're getting weirder. I'll cover it a little bit more at the end, but she's looking at her hand weird, and we see Yoshioka in a wedding dress. I mean, he's making it. He's huffing it. His friend gets a maid with a miniskirt, and he falls over. Yeah, and we get this scene where Yoshioka he's in the lead, but he stops and he's like, "Oh, like being a chip magnet." Like Yoshioka's kind of humble bragging, saying like, being a chick magnet matters that much to you. Like I guess I'm a chick magnet, but hey, whatever. And his friends basically like, "Oh, sorry, I'm laughing because I'm reading it again." He's like, "Of course it matters. All I want is a girl like me, blah blah blah," right? Quit laughing because everyone else is laughing at him. A cute girl who likes me, that's all I ask. And Yoshioka's like, "I like you." And he's like, "That's not what I mean, like you're nasty." And he's like, just because you're not a ladies' man doesn't mean you got nothing going for you, right? He's trying to help his friend, right? Besides, it's not some I'm not some Casanova. I love this. I'm not some Casanova. The girl I really liked you back in the day, right? And he's like, "Really?" He's like, "No, I'm just messing with you." And Yoshioka just goes, "All right." Also, I can't have I can't have Ruri. I can't basically give you Ruri in this weird way, so I still gotta win. You know, he runs up and he gets it. You know, he gets first place. He doesn't get first place, but he gets ahead of his former friend. And you know, they're all making jokes, they're all having fun, and yeah, it's just like a big congratulations moment. Everyone's clapping hands, everyone's happy, and we see Ruri pick up all these stuff by her, all this rope by herself, and this is like the weird like dynamic where she's unlocking more of her power, I guess, at least innately, because she just picked up this rope. And if you've never held rope like this, like especially this much all at once, this stuff's heavy, right? Maybe not for like a fully grown man. Even then, it might still be kind of difficult. But like a lot of this rope is because it's very thick and is, you know, it's going to be heavy, especially for someone of Aiko's size. But she picked it up by herself and she's just chugging along. We get to the second event. We get more of Ruri's classmates. Apparently, this one guy's called Big Beard, but he has like a little scruff. And it's tug of war. They start pulling, and you know we keep getting winners, and we're seeing more of Aiko, I guess, getting in her flow state, getting in her excited state because she's helping everybody out. She's picking things up. We're still seeing more people from class 3. Like, oh, and we kept more back to Aiko. Ruri, we're cutting back to Ruri, who's like, oh, you know, still helping people out, still being in that hyperactive flow state. And we see her horns are even crazier now. Like, look at this. I don't know. I don't know if this is like a thing, but for me, for some reason, there's like the whiteout spot here. I don't know if you can see that, but she's just in like this really big flow state, and it's represented by her horns. Even if we go to earlier in the chapter, right? You know, she's like earning that graduation. Yeah, it feels good when others can count on you, right? She's feeling happy that because of her strength, because of who she is, and because of how she is, her friends are able to basically look at her and be like, "Yay, thank you for being reliable," you know, Ruri. And her horns are getting wild now. So like, here's the scene from the last one, right? From the end of the chapter. We go just back a little bit. We see these here. She doesn't have the spike coming out from this side, right? You can see it here, and I think there's another face shot of her recently. Yeah, see her horns right here. They're like fraying out further back, and there's no like spiral in them. It's like her horns are like opening up almost. You know, what's his name? The one kid who can talk to animals in My Hero. It's like his quirk awakening, where his horn on his head kind of opens up. That's kind of what I'm. That's the vibe I'm getting from Ruri's horns. It's either that or the manga's just not consistent with drawing them, but I doubt that. I choose to believe it's on purpose because you know she is more like the longer it goes on, the more excited she's gonna get, the crazier her horns are gonna be, you know. And yeah, that's basically RuriDragon. She's just helping out her classmates, being dependable, being reliable, and heightening her flow state. And again, we're seeing more of her classmates. But that was chapter 27 of RuriDragon. Uh, what was the name of this chapter? I literally just read it. Let's find out. Let's go back. Let's go back. This chapter is called, I think it's, yeah, Barely Weighs a Thing, which is funny. So yeah, that was RuriDragon chapter 27, Barely Weighs a Thing. And we can move on to Ichi the Witch, which is which Ichi the Witch. This kind of gives me hope, like these next 2 chapters, because it depends on what happens in the chapter after the 17th. But we'll start it from here, right? We get the death, the world hating Majiki, basically being confused, and he's just like, you know what, whatever. It's a little consequence. I don't care. While Ororo's wailing, he's like, "Oh, Ichi, you idiot! Why? No, he's not a witch. Blah blah. Just ignore us, you know." And World Hating Majiki's just like, "We're going, right?" He even says, "I'm about to begin. If you don't want to get erased, right? I'm about to begin, so you should move out of the way." And he summons these like this is like biblically accurate angels mixed with like our depictions of angels, right? You have the multiple wings covering the eyes, all like kind of like seraphim, I want to say. And then their hands are like chained together, praying. Beautiful art. Art's amazing. And he summons a bunch of these things, right? And it's like a death march, right? uh Lancement? Lancement? Lament? I can't read. He basically goes, advance, like move forward. And we now know how the landscape gets messed up. It's because these things kind of pour out this thing that just corrodes and destroys and like warps the landscape around them. And Uro's like, no mercy. These things warp everything they touch, right? This that's an advanced line of death, right? This is just pure. It's destroying everything it passes, right? And everyone's freaking out. And Ichi, he's seeing all these people worrying. Aurora's like, yeah, we got to dip, right? He's like, you see that? That's bad. Let's get out of here. He's like, at this rate, we're both toast. Use the weird the electric thing, and let's get out of here. Ichi goes Aurora mode, right? He goes maximum output, and he's like, he starts talking about his stuff, right? The world thing Majiki's like, oh, finally attempting to leave Little Mouse, and Ichi goes, no. Never in my life have I gone into any hunt thinking I couldn't possibly die. It didn't matter if I hunted a rabbit or a wolf or any other more vicious animal. It's all the same. When it's death for death, death has no size. All there is the purest desire to kill. Looking back, the instant our eyes met, my heart leaped. I want to hunt. I want to hunt, right? You, those monsters, I want to hunt you all. The man's a psychopath. Look at the deranged look in his eye. This is not the eyes of a normal person. Look at this. This is the eyes of someone who's literally like far beyond what we can hope to save. He's too far gone. And if you look at his hat, you can see like the feather details in this. Again, beautiful art. Look at this. Look at all these details. I would zoom in, but it's gonna like mess up my thing. But look at all this. This is it's just beautiful. And then look, you see his eye, you see the detail in the eye. Oh man. And then Ichi basically goes Aurora amplification. It's the fish, the ice shark, Uruwash, and he's just diving directly for him, right? No hesitation, no nothing. Look at all these sharks. Again, look at all this detail. And all these sharks make up this shark. If you can see all the little details here. All like the fins and all the stuff. And they crash directly into the line of the laments. I think that's what they're called. Lances. I don't know. I can't read. Again, crazy beautiful art. And this was chapter 16. And that was a cliffhanger. I don't think there was a break in between this. Oh no, there had to have been, I think. I don't Again, my memory is absolute dog water. But that was the end of this chapter, crashing into the lines. I remember when this happened, I was a little nervous. I was still in the mindset that Ichi the Witch, I'm kind of a little I'm a little scared because we're in chapter 16 and this guy kind of feels like a final boss. It all depended, in my opinion, what happened after this attack. Because if this attack didn't work, cool, right? We still have a problem, we still have to deal with stuff. If this attack did work, but it was nullified in some way, also good. Because like I said, Ichi hasn't lost a fight. If you saw my previous video, Ichi hasn't lost a fight yet. Granted, we're only 16 chapters in, but this guy feels like something he would lose to. You know? I don't know like a good comparison from other manga, but it's basically first fight with the final boss, you're never gonna win. You're not gonna win. Or at least you shouldn't. He's not gonna win, right? That's my mentality. So if he loses this fight, good. If he doesn't, that's not good, But I don't have to worry. We don't have to worry about it too much because we can go directly to chapter 17, and we have a hard cut to the foreseeing witch, and she's basically telling her people, don't stop writing, right? Write everything down. Don't blink. Don't do anything. Just keep writing. And she's like, I got you. And from outside of the dome, they're writing what's happening, and we get a little bit of a flashback. And she's seeing Ichi impact the lance or the laments, whatever they're called. And she uses a spell, Endless Ink, to just keep writing about everything. They record everything. That's the only thing you can do now. Like, get every detail, get everything. And Ichi just now jumps, like throws everything at him, and they crash into the lines, and they freeze everything. freezing the weird lament, freezing the ice, and Ichi starts falling because he used up his power and he's falling down. Again, when I saw this, I was like, that's not good. That's not good. And he throws him again. And again, I'm looking at this, I'm like, I mean, he's knocked out, but it's not a good feeling. Because you're like, this guy should be stronger than that. Even if Aurora is I think, hated, like the great hating Majiki, I guess. I don't know, the king hating Majiki, the king of Majiki. That's what it was. The king of Majiki. This guy's the world hating Majiki. Yeah, it makes sense that it would affect him, but like hurting him to this degree, I don't know. But the townspeople are like, he got him, right? But people, they know, they're like, that's not good. You hear a cracking noise, and he breaks out. Thank God, right? Because this now feels like, okay, we're getting there, right? This is like final boss level. This is like a big major threat. We can keep going with this. He basically brings Ichi up, and he's like, "You're an idiot. Why would you do that? You stopped it for now. Good. I can just break him up." And then Ichi just shivs him right in the neck. Like, this man's a lunatic. He stabs him right in the neck, and Ichi's like, "Man, you had so much stuff around your neck. I thought it'd be your weak point, but I guess it wasn't." Ichi is such a madman. He knew, I'm going to pass out the moment I use these powers. So I'm going to stab myself in the leg to keep me awake. Like a psychopath. And Ichi just, again, being a lunatic, being a psychopath, like, where's your weak point? Where is it? Is it your head? Is it your limbs? Is it your heart? What do I have to do to hunt you? Man's not even like mentally there. And then the world hating Majiki's kind of like, you're not ready for this, right? If you use his power, if Aurora's power to like punch a hole in the thing, maybe you could have escaped, like saved a few people, but you're just too dumb. You're too wrapped up in your own head, so you just wanted to go. So now you're gonna die, unless he gets stabbed in the chest and he gets hit with an explosion magic by who else? Descara. Descaras? Yeah, Descaras. I can never pronounce her name right. Descaras. She just blows this man up, point blank. And she says, the only one going down is you. Here and now, you insane excuse for a Majiki. And he's saying, he's coming back saying like, you're, as if he knows who she is to an extent. And she goes like, "Oh, who else? Your favorite on uber talented badass Discaras. I love her. She's the best." But he said it almost as if he knows who she is, because the moment she saw the dome and everything, she kind of just leapt directly to it, which gives me the idea that she has a history with this Majiki specifically. Maybe her hometown was, what did it say, 15 years ago? 15, 25? I can't remember. A few years ago, like, this Majiki showed up out of nowhere and destroyed everything. So maybe this is like connecting to Desiree, Discaras, and her backstory. Because we don't know too much about her, right? Ichi's knocked out. He's out of commission for this fight. So, is she going to acquire him? Probably not, because she blew up his body and he was still okay, So, my theory is, obviously she's inside the dome when she wasn't. She punched a hole in it, right? She punched a hole in it, probably let the other people escape, or at least helping them escape, and is now kind of holding him off. And this could end, in my opinion, like 3 ways. A, it's kind of like a stalemate. They back off, right? They back off from each other. Like the world hating Majiki probably just F's off into the corner, or they escape, right? We don't know. 2, Discara dies. I don't want that to happen, but I'm saying it's a possibility. We don't really know too much about her, but this could be more motivation for Ichi to kill the thing that hurt his master. But that feels like just wasting Discara's character, Discara's wasting Discara's character by just introducing her backstory and then killing her off. You know, they're already a trio. Don't bring it up yet. You know, or it could kind of be similar to the situation. He could just dip right now. You know, the world hitting, but he could just be like, I don't want to deal with this. Uh, you guys aren't even a problem for me. I'll just destroy a different town later. You know, and he just dips. That's not the other possibility I was thinking about, but that was just one I thought of right now. But yeah, we're probably obviously next chapter we're gonna get the continuation of the fight. Honestly, we're gonna get it. And since there's probably a hole punched in the wall in like the dome now, the others can come help because you know Togeist is there. Maybe Togeist can do even crazier ice magic and freeze him. I don't know. We also see that Ichi. I didn't mention this. Ichi, even though he was getting his face warped here, like that's most of his face. It was undone the moment she blew him up, which is good. So Ichi's not gonna have like a scar or like a fucked up face, but it's still concerning because he could do that point blank while holding you. But I wonder what you guys think is gonna happen with Ichi the Witch. I'm so hoping that it keeps going because it's so good. The art is amazing. I'm so interested. I'm so invested. I really want this series to keep going. But yeah, that was chapter 16 and 17 of Ichi the Witch. Again, tell me what you guys think is going to happen next chapter or what you guys want to happen next chapter in the comments. And let's move on to Chainsaw Man. And we pick up basically directly where we left off with Chainsaw Man throwing up, with Denji throwing somebody up. So I know there was a lot of speculation on who he could be throwing up. Like, is it going to be some random like power? Is he going to throw up what's her name? The Bomb Devil, right? But no, he throws up Yoshida, which is funny. That implies that Chainsaw Man at some point ate Yoshida whole, because he wouldn't be alive if Chainsaw Man like cut him into pieces and ate him. He just ate him whole apparently. And Yoshida, he's like, oh shoot, I'm back. You know, he's taking this all in stride. He's not bothered, and he goes, huh, or at least Asa, you have two different arms now. Interesting. Denji's like, I guess arms can regrow sometimes. You making jokes. Asa's like, you cut off my arm, apologize, right? And we get a hard cut. He's like, what's the situation? Okay, aging devil, primal fears, blah 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 blah. And they're saying like, you're fighting him from out here. It's probably gonna kill us instantly. So why isn't it? And Denji's like, I was eating. I was like, I threw it up. I keep reading and I keep laughing. Denji's like, it wants Chainsaw Man to eat him so that he can, and that a bunch of little kids get killed. It's a pervert. Funny and accurate. um, and Yoshida's like, okay, communication, public. Yoshida's basically the brains in this. Yoshida is the brains in the situation because these two, Denji and Asa, do not have it. Denji, Asa, and Yor especially don't have it. These two sharing a brain cell is fine, but with Yor, it's not good. So they're basically saying, Yoshida's saying like, we having a problem because we don't know how to get out, right? And you can be angry at me. I was your enemy, right? But we're having a truce as of now to get out. That's the only reason we're having a truce, and that includes you. Sorry for cutting your arm off. You know, Yoshida is such a weird character because he's the only quote unquote nice person to Denji. And Yoshida being like, go to hell, and he grabs her and goes, thank you. shakes her hand. So fucking weird, right? And he's like, oh, your turn, Denji. And Denji's like, you're gonna team up with people who kill, like, are you telling me to team up with people who like killing kids? Because he, you know, his sister, air quotes, what was her name? Damn, she's been gone for too long. I forgot her name. Denji must have eaten her. And Yoshida kind of gives like a little thing. He's like, when I was in grade school, the teacher told me what to do when you encounter a bear. It's kind of like a metaphor almost. And he says, according to the teacher, each side should strive to return to their respective worlds. If a bear wanders into our society, we should try to get it into the woods. If we wander into a bear society, we should get out and do the thing, right? We should try our best to like separate ourselves, right? Hostilities benefit neither party, neither bears nor people. It only adds to the body count. You know, he's giving a words of wisdom, I guess. At the time, I thought the teacher was putting too much trust in bears, but I think the point holds true for our present circumstances. Right? I'm so bad at reading. I apologize. If you want to kill me, you should do it after we escape, or am I about to get eaten too? Being snarky, being funny. Basically, he's basically saying, I'm from public security, right? Public safety. You guys are your own entity. Us being in this situation and you wanting to kill me because we're from different worlds isn't going to help us. You know, if you kill me, we're probably going to get stuck here longer. If I kill you, we're probably just going to be stuck here longer. So, us being together, we should strive to get out of this and return to our actual world. It's, funnily enough, very literal. And everyone's like, all right. Denji's like, okay. And we're getting this trio stuff again, right? He's like, oh, you make me sick. Yoshida saying, sorry, says the guy who just puked me up, right? And then Asa's going, says the guy who caught, they're just being snarky, you know, they're all quipping at each other. It's not really quipping. They're all being like angry at each other, kind of. And Asa's asking, the real question is like, we can't use our powers in here. And he goes, Yoshida goes, you can use your power, like your stomach is connected to the one outside, right? And he goes, Denji, can I shove my hand in your mouth? Now I read something. I think it was on Twitter or one of the Reddits, where it was like, this is the first time somebody asked Denji for permission to do something that involves his body. And that's a very haunting idea because it's true. Asa, well, later on we see, I'll cover it later, but this is the first time somebody was like, oh, can I do something to you in a weird way? I don't think it's meant to be like what is it? What's that word? That means like, it's like a metaphor, an analogy. That's what it is. I don't think it's supposed to be an analogy for intercourse in a weird way, but this is the first time somebody's asked Denji for permission to do something involving him, I guess. Which is nice. And Denji's like, let's get this on, right? Let's get going. That was Chainsaw 188. Now we go over, I didn't set it up before, 189. And we see what it's like on the other side. When he puts his hand in Denji's mouth, it literally pops out of the Chainsaw Devil's or Pochita's mouth, and he does the tentacle to grab. He grabs a pole, and Yoshida goes, huh, it got cut off. That's not good, right? And the problem is he can't see what's happening. He can only like fire it off. Long mouth get Denji, bro. He's getting it. He got it, right? And the aging devil's kind of freaking out now. He's like, huh, that's not good. They mean to force their way back, right? But the problem is he can get them out, but how is Denji going to get himself out? That's the whole thing. But we see Yor sticking her finger out, going bang, but she missed. She can't see. And she thinks, huh, I can't see. Let's completely go in. Which is smart, but also kind of not. And we see the aging devil's form of Bang. And she starts de-aging. She pops back out, you know, and she's like, jokes. Oh, am I beautiful? Yoshida says, yep. And Denji, who literally just had her entire torso in his mouth, yeah, you're cute, right? And Yor is basically figuring out, like, this aging thing is like, it's bad and it's insulting. The devil powers don't work in this world, right? So once the devil, I guess, once she came back, his power kind of got nullified before it took root. And then we get this scene. We get this girl we're like, finally, I forgot her name. I'm so bad at names. We're like, finally, she's like not around. She's dying, right? And the aging devil's like, large intestine. She falls over, I guess. Hostility only adds to the body count. I couldn't agree more. Fighting is futile. And she pops back up again. I don't know how. And the aging devil's like, oh, you must be getting sick of human flesh by now. What is this? They say mine tastes like lotus root. And people have been saying, I think I don't remember where I read it again, where it's like, he's saying this, but he's confused at it. Because it's almost like she's saying it. People have been saying it's kind of like how Yor sees Asa whenever they're in control, and Asa sees Yor whenever they're in control. So they're saying it's kind of like that. And she's still kicking somehow, and she's going, I'm still alive, right? Aren't I? Like, I'm still here. I promised myself that I'm not, that in my dying moments, I'd side with the likelier winner. You know, a turncoat. You know, but the weird thing is they're talking to each other, which is the weirdest thing. I don't. It's so weird, right? But right. She says like, "Oh, I'll leave it up to you." Basically, talking to her body, and her body goes, "Yoshida, I give you my heart." And since his hand's through, he says, "Thanks, octopus. I'll let you have Mifune, Mifune's heart. Swallow." And we finally see a little bit more of the octopus devil, or whatever it is, like this, with the power of Mifune's heart. And that was the end of the chapter. I know I kind of stammered and stuttered a lot through this one, so let's go back a little bit more and talk about what people think is happening. Like I said before, people are thinking this is kind of like a Asa Yor situation, where she's not dead, Mifune. She's not dead, but most of her is inside of the aging devil, and she's talking in like the weird spirit thing. She can't do it here, right? Because she's dying, but her spirit, air quotes, is talking for her. That's why she's able to talk to herself in a way, because she kind of knows what she's thinking. And that's why she says, "I'll leave it up to you." And she says, "Okay," because she knows what she's thinking and what she's gonna do. So she is dying, air quotes, right? She is dying. I don't know, or she just has a different body. I don't know. But she is dying. Right? If you can't tell, I'm doing massive air quotes. She's dying. So she gives her heart to Yoshida so he can do, I guess, a final attack. So this can mean so many things. It can mean that it's like a Asa situation. I think it'd be funny if she just can clone herself somehow, so we still have to deal with Mifune. But you know, the Chainsaw Man always has to confuse people whenever we start kind of understanding something. He just likes throwing curveballs at us. You know, we get the octopus thing. Do I think the aging devil's dead? I don't know. I don't know, because we know that the eating thing is only really Chainsaw Man. The Chainsaw Devil can only really eat people and they die. But who knows? Next chapter again is, I think, also in 10 days. But these were two really good chapters. Again, all these series have great art. I don't have to say it a lot. It's only like during particular things that I go, that's crazy. Also, I'm going back a few things because we're getting more Asa, Yor, I guess, body shots. Because first off, I just want to say this is ridiculous. Also, damn, but you know, these past few chapters he's been doing it a lot more. But I wanted to end it off on that because that's the one thing I really noticed. But that's the end of Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man 188 and 189. We're actually gonna go into 190, which is gonna be cool. What's gonna happen next? I'm not even gonna try to guess because I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna get out. I don't know how they're gonna deal with this. But yeah, Chainsaw Man, great. Now we cover Peak Kagurabachi, and we're covering chapters 62 and 63. And these are fun chapters because we actually get cut to Iori. Iori? Yeah, Iori, which is the daughter of Samura? Samura? Of the daughter of Samura. Samura's daughter. And we see her normal life. And I remember last video, I'd say last video because it wasn't last week and it wasn't 2 weeks ago. I think it was 3 weeks ago. We kind of getting it the at like moments before Owl started 3 days ago, basically. Owl started, where on the news we see Iori see Chihiro kill those people. Granted, they're assassins, but she doesn't know that. She just sees this guy in a black trench coat kill a few people, and this kind of invalidates the idea that I had in my head, where it was only mages, only like people who have sorcery can see magic. But no, everyone sees Owl in the sky, which is pretty funny. Um, so like she mentioned, Iori mentions like, oh yeah, 3 days ago, a giant owl, like a giant face, appeared in the sky, and it blocked out the sky. People were freaking out at first, but for 2 days, like school is canceled. But now people are they're saying like it's not dangerous, but whatever. It's still not normal, but people are kind of mellowed out about it. And this guy, I love this guy. This guy's the best. He saw the guy. He saw Chihiro on. He saw this guy. I'm saying it from his perspective. He saw this guy kill 3 people with a scar on his face, and he was like, "It's doomsday, right? The world's over. That's what the sky means, right?" He's being such a what is it called? Um, I'm laughing because it's ridiculous. He's like, "Oh, I woke up with this, right? It's proof of my mission, blah blah blah. Very soon our life will be turned." He's saying the truth because it's true, but he's making jokes, right? And he's like, "Oh, that guy." Like the girl's like, "Oh, that guy on the thing. He was around our age, wasn't he?" And Diori goes, "Dude, that guy's a murderer. That's fucked up. Don't do that." And we're getting this motif with Iori with these chains and her having these memories that she doesn't, these dreams that feel like memories that she can't really remember. Uh-huh. And she's like, it all kind of started when Owl, they don't call it Owl, the thing in the sky appeared. We know it as Owl, but since Owl showed up, it's been acting. I've been having these dreams over and over again. And this guy, straight on the money, Ikura straight on the money, right? He's saying like, it's a sign, right? It's a sign you're chosen. You're the chosen one. Lots of things cause insomnia, like stress, or if something's bothering you. He's a good guy. He's a little goof, but he's a good guy. And all of our friends are like, that thing's blocking out the sun. It's a huge downer, right? And Yori's like, what is happening in the sky? We don't get it. And she's having these memories that she's breaking herself. They talk about it a little bit more later, but she's breaking this spell that's on her by herself. So Iori's kind of like having these big zone out moments. She's like, "Oh shit, that's pretty bad, right?" And she's unraveling the plot. She's getting it. She's like, "What if the weird sky thing only affects me?" Um, and her friend's like, "You're letting his weirdness rub off on you," and he's like, "Let's do it, right? Let's go at it." Um, and she's like, "Oh, you're just freaking out. People naturally do that." And we get this scene, which I think is great. It's kind of like a horror movie almost. Iori sees the guy out the window. She looks at him. This is a great like sequence shot because this just looks amazing. I forgot what his name is again. Don't hold me to names. I'm bad at names. And I assume this is the gym teacher who literally just gets cut down. No remorse. No nothing. But she's smart. She's like, oh shit, that's not good. That's not good. Everyone get down, right? We gotta move. Guy crashed through the window. He lands. What year is this class? Blah. Iori gets like diced up, and he's like, oh, second year, good. I'm looking for Samura. What class is she in? And then his assistant's like, she wouldn't be using his name, duh. And he's like, let's just take the blood and figure it out by I have some of Samura's blood. I can just taste and figure out which one it is. And this guy's like, that'll take forever, right? And the girl's like, oh, there are kids all over the place. We only really need the girls. And he's like, oh, we could just kill the boys, right? It doesn't matter. This guy is a G. He's a true trooper. He's like, what are you talking about killing people? You could kill somebody, like smash it, like stop. You're hurting people, basically. Um, and Iori, again, being a good protagonist, is saying like, oh, if they find this Shimura person, they'll leave. That idiot's trying to act cool and he's gonna get killed. And then the guy's like, we can kill the boys, right? She says, yeah. But Iori jumps in the way of his attack, which is smart because she's like, they said they want to kill girls, and if I jump in the way, they might stop. Brave, smart, but also kind of stupid. And this guy was like, oh, I'm pretty good. You know, like you held me to my morals. And Iori's like, cut it out, please. You'll die. And they're like, check her blood. If she's Samura, we can kill her. Right? If she's not, we can kill her. And she's like, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Post heroic action. What is it? Clarity. She's like, oh man, why did I do that? That's so stupid. And then the little man pops up. He says, excuse me. And then Chihiro, whoom, goes straight for his neck. I love Chihiro because he always goes for kill shots. He always goes for kill shots. And he quickly dips away. And they grab up Iori. And they start explaining stuff. The seal's breaking down. They know she's around here, so that's not good. And she's like, and the little man's like, but why is the seal breaking down? It doesn't make sense. And it's saying like she's having like a bunch of memories, and she's like, I want to know. Please let me know. Again, doing a comparison with Chihiro. Her memory of Shimura is completely sealed, but if unconsciously, she herself is trying to break the seal. That's the chain thing that we were seeing, with the chain snapping and breaking apart. And the guys like Mr. Samura don't underestimate young people, because both of these guys have determination like crazy. And he's basically saying, you know, in any case, like the Hishafu, the Hishafu are after you, right? Sorry, you're gonna be in a like your life's gonna be very different from now on. Masumi's, that's right, that's what it is. The Masumi, the Masumi. He's the head of the Masumi. The Masumi are gonna protect you, right? And this is pretty interesting, because she's remembering it. She's forcing herself to remember it. It might be because she has some sort of sorcery that's allowing her to do it. I don't know, but it's pretty crazy. That was 62. 62 is very good and very good at setting up what's going to happen next, setting up Iori as a character and kind of putting a guideline on where she's going to go. But from Iori, we go to Chihiro. Another beautiful. This man just can't stop putting out like heat cover stories, like cover arts. Look at this. This is amazing. Now he has Chihiro has more scars on his face. But now we're getting them trying to get Iori to safety. And people have made this a point. It's like these dumbasses put it in the wrong scroll. Because via the translation, I don't know if you guys can see this. Via the translation here, it says white motorcycle, but it's a black motorcycle. So people are saying she's posting up because she got the wrong fucking scroll. But you know, cool motorcycle. And she's like, get on, we're moving. And Chihiro is still boxing the person, I don't remember his name, still boxing the Hisaifu guy in the room. And his guy's like, wait a minute, I thought you were dead, Chihiro. And people recognize Chihiro as the killer from the Kabuki play. Kaguri, that's his name. Kaguri is this guy's name, the Hisaifu. Hishafu guy is Kaguri. I have to do it to my own head. He breaks the clash, and he basically darts after Iori. I remember Iori because Iori is easy. And Chihiro's like, shit, that's not good. I have to catch up. And the other ninja people, I'm not gonna remember the names. The other ninja person, he's like, Chihiro, let's go. We gotta get to the target. And he's like, oh shoot, what's wrong? The target's an ordinary girl. Yes, she's connected to the Hishafu and Samura, but right now Our job is to protect her from danger. He's basically getting a flashback in his head. He says, "Sorry, I'm going after him. I'm going after that guy who's attacking um Kifu Kuguri. Yeah, I'm attacking Kuguri. Bad with names. Um, he's like, the leader and I will go after him. You go ahead. No, on the same route we confirmed." And he's like, "But the Hishafu." He's like, "Calm down. The operation is easy. The operation, it's well, I can't speak. Um, it's Operation Easy Does It. So let's go, right? This is Moku. I think they say all their names. Moku, Sumi, more names to remember. Did we get the small guy's name? I don't think so. Yeah, we got Sumi, which is the girl, Moku, which is the guy with the two swords. And it's literally called car chase. Accurate, but we got Sumi and Iori going, and they're trying to get as far away as they can, right? Um, and we're getting more like backstory with like these two Hishafu members. They're like, oh, these are those people. They're in a taxi, I think, and they're trying to get away. And there's basically you won't lay a finger on us, right? The small guy has his like what is that kunai with smoke bomb on it? He chucks them, and oh god, he killed the driver. My brain's like, oh shit, because I was wondering how they knocked over the car, but they killed him. And the car flips over, uh, and what he to slice is to converse, right? Both parties have to make things exciting. I'm looking forward to a good slicing, and he's just he gets out of the car as it's falling out, and he starts hoofing it on foot, and he cuts a car in half. He cuts a bus in two, like a psychopath. Crazy people do. And Sumi is like, oh shit, this guy's like, he's not slowing down, you know, and he's randomly hurting people. And Chihiro is basically having this moment where he's like, I got these scars helping people. The one Masumi person saying like, you got those scars from helping people. Even so, your eyes are still very intense, right? You're kind of freaky, the way you operate, taking it all on yourself, you're driving yourself to an early grave, right? You're putting too much on yourself. So he's like, let us pick up the slack, right? Let's share the burden. And Rio is his name, Rio. He says, like, let us share the burden. And we get this really cool shot where it's all basically trust. We're getting trust, we're getting team building. More people added to Chihiro's found family. They get this cool slide shot and this sick scene where they're ejecting a sword. Chihiro grabs it and clashes blades with Kukoi. That's not even close to what it was. Whatever. I'm gonna give up on names until I remember them. Um, and he basically stops him in his tracks, and he goes, "Yeah, I can move pretty well because my load just got a little lighter because I have people that can pick up my slack. I have friends, more friends, I guess, who I can trust, and now I can cut you to pieces." That's basically what he's saying, right? Uh, so yeah, next chapter is probably going to be a fuller fight between this Hishafu member and Chihiro, and Iori probably fully escaping. But these are more people added to Chihiro's found family. What does he have now? Like 10? I really want to see those people again. I really want to see Char again. I want to see the flame bone lady, the sumo guy. I want to see all these people again. I, my brain is like, I want to see Char again because Char is very important in the first like 20 chapters. But again, she's a kid. You don't want her to get into danger. But in my brain, Char could probably help Uro, the guy with the previous sacred blade, because she healed Chihiro's hand, which he lost. Granted, she's still a kid; she can't really do too much, and he's probably been dead for way too long. But it's the hopes and dreams. But yeah, I've been rambling a lot. There's a lot to cover, and I'm very excited. I love these series. I love I love Kagurabachi. I love that it's basically going up to number one now. It's in like the bigger slots, bigger banners. Love it, love it, love it. And yeah, that was the post holiday manga roundup. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Always say again, thank you for watching. Thank you for everything. I think we're at 12 subs now, which is great. It's 12 or 11. I can't remember. I have to double check. But if we're at 12 and 11, that's really good. Thank you guys so much. I didn't even expect to get one. I'm very grateful. Again, I thank you all for stopping even for a minute, even for a second. Generic YouTube stuff, like, comment, share, subscribe. What do you guys think is going to happen in the next few chapters for any of these series? Chainsaw Man, Kagurabachi, Ichi, Ruri. It's not much to discuss with Ruri, but I just love covering it because it's a sweet series. It's a sweet series. But yeah, I'm recording for over a minute, and I'd like to bid you all a farewell.